Well, Ivor, we're lucky to have Sarah, your sister, with us out here today. We're so lucky to have her home. And we're going to do a quick demonstration on how to measure the volume in a standing tree using a Biltmore stick. So Sarah is going to use the Merit hypsometer portion of the stick, which is down this edge. She's going to hold it plumb, 25 inches from her eye, and she's going to line up the bottom of the stick with her eye to the bottom of that red pine tree. And she's going to then move her eye, but not her head, just from her eye. She's going to read how many 16-foot logs or portions of 16-foot logs there are up to the merchantable, usable height of the tree, which is, Sarah, you see where the main stem kind of breaks into about three different pieces that are unusable? That's where you want to measure to.
Okay. So I think this one's like nearly 3, 2 3/4.
I think we could probably call it 3.
3. Okay.
All right, so we got 3 16-foot logs, and we're 66 feet away from the tree. The scale has to be relative to a distance from the tree, and that distance is 66 feet, which I think is one chain. That's a special measurement, actually. All right, now we're going to go measure the diameter of the tree. Ivor and I have been spending quite a bit of time out here because we logged this in preparation for a white pine thinning. But it's also good to know what kind of volume of remaining timber we have out here, and so that's why we want to measure these trees and inventory them. All right, so now you're going to use your diameter measurement, and again, hold the stick 25 inches from your eye. Line up the butt of the stick with the left edge of the tree, just inside the bark, and then turning your eye, not your head, see what the diameter reads just inside the bark on the right-hand side of the stick.
23.
23, that's a good sized tree. Okay, now take another one 90 degrees from around the tree to get a second measurement, and we're going to take the average. We tried to cut all this brush out of here to make a better planting opportunity for the white pine this spring, but it's hard to get it all. Isn't it, Ivor? It's tough to get all that brush.
On this side we have 25.
All right, so what's the average?
24.
All right. So show us then how we're going to find the volume in board feet in this tree.
So we knew that it was 3 16-foot logs, right?
Yep.
And to the table where it's 24. Diameter?
Yep.
605 square. What's the measurement?
Board feet.
Board feet.
Yeah, a board foot in lumber is 1 inch thick by 12 inches wide by 12 inches long. It's a volume measurement. So this tree has about 600 board feet in it. And we can fit about 5,000 board feet on a truckload of logs. So it would take 8 or 9 of these trees to make a truckload. But not for today, because this tree is going to stand here for many, many years to come. That tree is going to help provide an overstory, a partial overstory for the white pine that will be planted in here. And here on this point, we're going to get a lot of sunlight. So we're going to get plenty of sunlight, but we still need the cover, a partial cover, because these cover trees help create a microclimate down on the forest floor that is advantageous for the white pine program or white pine growth. It helps keep the site a little bit drier, and that dryness helps prevent blister rust, which is a pathogen that negatively impacts the quality of the white pine. And then it also helps keep the tip weevil from chewing on the terminal leader the top tip of the white pine trees until they get tall enough, and then it doesn't matter quite so much anymore. Pretty interesting, isn't it, Ivor? Let's take a look at this spruce tree over here that we cut. I noticed when I walked by here the other day, look at the growth rings, Ivor. Look at those growth rings. Yeah. Ivor has big feet, and those growth rings are massive, relatively. That looks like about 3/4 of an inch, so that's on the radius. So on the diameter, it would be twice 3/4 of an inch, so almost an inch and a half. But it's a little bit deceiving because we're looking at an angled, tapered part of the tree right there. So it's not giving you a true cross section like it was here in the middle. But that's phenomenal growth. These white spruce in the open will grow really, really big. They also grow with a tremendous amount of limbs. You see that save tree over there with the blue paint on it? Mm-hmm. Can you imagine how hard it was on snowshoes for me to get in there and get the paint on those trees? The limbs are right to the ground. All right, anyway, that's how to use a Biltmore stick.